I used to be a skeptic. I didn't believe in ghosts, demons, or anything beyond what I could see. That changed when I met Daniel Marsh. Daniel was a quiet guy, the kind you wouldn't notice in a crowd. We worked together at a warehouse, and while we weren't exactly close, we had enough late-night shifts together that we'd swap stories. One night, he told me something strange. He hadn't been sleeping. He kept waking up at 3:15 a.m., always with the same feeling. Something was watching him. I brushed it off. "Probably stress," I told him. But he just shook his head. "No, it's more than that," he muttered. Then things got worse. He stopped coming to work, and when he finally showed up again, he looked different. His skin was pale, almost sickly, and his eyes seemed sunken, like he hadn't slept in weeks. "You ever feel like something's inside you?" he asked one night out of nowhere. His voice was hollow, distant. I laughed nervously. "What do you mean?" He lifted his shirt, and I felt the blood drain from my face. His torso was covered in deep, jagged scratches. Fresh ones, old scars. They crisscrossed his skin like something had been clawing at him from the inside. "I don't remember doing it," he whispered. That was when I realized he was serious. One night, I went to check on him. His roommate had texted me saying Daniel had been acting even stranger, talking to himself, locking himself in his room, laughing at nothing. When I got there, the apartment was dark. Too dark. I found Daniel sitting on his bed, staring at the wall. "Daniel?" I called. He turned, and I swear to God it wasn't him looking back at me. His eyes were wrong, black, like there was nothing behind them. His mouth twisted into a grin that wasn't his own. "Too late," he whispered. Then his body convulsed. I don't remember calling 911, but the paramedics arrived to find him screaming in a voice that didn't sound human. His roommate swore he spoke in a language he'd never heard before. Daniel was institutionalized after that. I visited him once. He sat in the hospital bed staring at the ceiling, completely unresponsive. Just as I was about to leave, he grabbed my wrist. His grip was ice cold, unnaturally strong, and in a voice that was half his and half something else, he said, "You let it in." I never visited him again. I don't know if whatever had taken hold of him ever left, but sometimes at night I still hear my name whispered from the dark.